g'day Regan from 1 Minute Closer again. So, as many of you might know, last Thursday actually, about just under 2 weeks ago now, I woke up in the morning and decided I was going to resign my job. Basically, I need to spend more time at home. Spending a couple of weeks with the kids over school holidays really made me realise that I'm missing so much time with them, my friends and my family, and I need to look for something with a more family-friendly roster. So I quit. I finished yesterday, and today I'm off on one last Northern Territory FIFO journey. So when I realised that I had 10 days before I left, I realistically, with no logical thought at all, decided I was going to go on a 12-day road trip through the Kimberley on my newfound friend Red Sonja. So we're going to start today in Darwin. We're going to leave Darwin in about half an hour. I'm at the beautiful Hidden Valley holiday retreat at the moment. Last stop to see Mum and Dad before I head on the road. So we're going to head to Catherine today, then hang a right into head towards Kununurra, and then into the Kimberley, Give River Road, out the back of Broome, up to Dampier Peninsula, and then we're going to head down the west coast to Shark Bay, Coral Bay, Exmouth, Karratha, in that reverse order, and then we're going to hit Perth in about 13 days time. So let me show you a bit about what's going to get me there. This is my fantastic 1,000-kilometre old Africa Twin, affectionately known as Red Sonja. 1,000 cc's of pure fun. So we've made a few modifications to Sonja for the trip, so let's just go through them. First of all, we've got the Conti tyres, TKC 80s, big road knobbies. The pressure's pretty high in them at the moment because we're carrying a little bit of weight. Second of all, we've got our Garmin 650T Montana GPS. So this is going to get me out of trouble if I get lost. And we put a 12-volt socket outlet in here. Obviously everything's USB chargeable now, so that will go in, basically keep me going on the road. What else have we got? We've got obviously the giant loop tank bag here. We've got the set of Bark Buster Storms put on here, give the hands a bit of a shake up with any of the rocks that come up. We've got our giant loop soft panniers, 35 litres each side. They're great, they don't require any rats, they're nice and light. They fit a lot of stuff in them. They just hang there and tie onto the pillion pegs. I've got my camping gear in a dry pack, dry bag here, so all one night camping gear, one man tent, small sleeping bag. Got a dry duffel bag here with all my clothes for 12 days and a bit of backup in Perth. And I've got some spare fuel, spare water. I've got 3 gallons of spare fuel and 1.5 gallons of spare water. So that should give me range of around about 400 kilometres, and the longest trip on the Give River is around about 350. So I reckon we're pretty good. What else do we have here? Oh, we've got the big bash plate. So I've got the Hepco crash bars put on here to protect obviously the lovely paint job, but I've got also put on this big B&B bash plate. Now that's going to give them some bit of protection from the flying rocks, but also it's going to act as a bit of a crash guard for the side of the engine as well. I've got the lowered moto pegs, and I think that's about it. So we're going to head off. Got the map, got the fuel points worked out, called the stations. I know I've got fuel out there somewhere, I've just got to find it. Anyway, we better crack on. I've got 12 days to get to Perth and hopefully start a new job and a new life on an even time roster. So until then, stay connected. Alright, so just a bit of a PS to that little video. This trip required a lot of organisation. Probably a trip that should have been organised in a couple of months has been done in about, as I said, 12 days. So I've just got a few people to thank for that. So firstly, the team at Team Moto Yamaha in Brisbane. They got the bike to me really quickly. I always planned to ride it home. I managed to get 800 Ks on it before this trip. So Bruce, Ellie, Sean and Corrine down at Team Moto Virginia, thanks very much. Solid effort. Secondly, Steve in the team at Cyclo Motorcycles NT. Leading up to this trip, I had the bike in there every day at a moment's notice, getting the bash plates put on, getting racks put on, getting the first service. They fitted me in really well, and Steve down there is a really experienced adventure bike rider, gave me a whole bunch of really good tips. including places to stay, tips on fuel. So Steve and the team at Cyclone, excellent. Couldn't have done it without you. Thirdly, Michelle for taking all my gear back down to Perth. Carted about 27 kilos back down to Perth, so I couldn't have done it without that. And last but not least, Mum and Dad. They're in Darwin at the moment, so the timing was good, and they've got half their Prado backseat filled with gear from my apartment, massive suitcases, stuff left over on seats for motorbikes. So thanks Mum and Dad, I really appreciate that. Mum, come on. Come on. Come on. So this is my mum. What do you think about the next 12 days?
Not allowed to go through water.
So I've been told I'm not allowed to get off the bike and go through water where there's crocodiles. That's the only rule apparently. Anything else?
No.
No? Okay. Alright. We'll see you in 12 days.